You know who made a whole production out of his release from the hospital, tearing off his mask on the White House balcony before posting a video telling people not to be afraid of a virus that's killed 210,000 Americans so far, and to not let the pandemic that tanked the economy, put millions of folks out of work, don't let that dominate their lives. He also wondered if he's immune. Well, this morning, he tweeted false comparisons between COVID and the flu. Now, anyone who does any due diligence on this, Sonny, would know that the meds that he is on, that they finally copped to the fact that he was actually on, are meds that they give to the very sick. So what is all of this about, in your opinion?
You know, I've been so horrified by the president's actions, both endangering the lives of the Secret Service agents by his really cavalier drive-by by supporters while knowing that he is infected with a contagious virus, to ripping off his mask in front of the White House and walking in when we clearly see that there are people inside. And I came to the conclusion, Whoopi, that the president obviously has not changed. And some Cornell researchers discovered and determined that he is likely the largest driver of the COVID-19 misinformation. Right? And so aside from the policy mistakes that this administration has made, I believe that this misinformation is directly responsible for the fact that as a country, we have more deaths than we needed to have. And I do think that that falls squarely on his shoulders. I do.
Sarah, what's your thought on all of this theater? I mean, it's all theatrics. What do you think?
Well, it was very theatrical, and the symbolic return to the White House and the taking off the mask was a slap in the face to the country, but also to people around the globe who have suffered during this pandemic, directly, people who have passed away. I also think in the time when everyone was giving such compassion and humanity, Joe Biden had even said, we hope for his health. Everyone kind of set their politics aside to say, we've got to be concerned for his personal health, but then also the health of a nation. As citizens, concerned citizens, what will happen as a result? And during that, it kind of felt like putting salt in the wound, because then he finished by politicizing this narrative he's been pushing this whole time. And I get that transparency may be too much to ask from the president in this administration. That would be too high of a bar, but then get out of the way, because the planting the misinformation and the turning the facts on their head has been confusing, misleading, and dangerous. So I wonder how many people today will take off their masks because the President of the United States did last night.
Right. What's your take on this, Joy?
Well, I have to say, when I saw him running up those stairs, I thought, this guy thinks he's Sylvester Stallone in Rocky. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. The only thing is, Rocky was not loaded up with, let's say, remdesivir and dexamethasone. This one just got out of a hospital with 1 million drugs in his system. And by the way, he was shaking a little bit, and he couldn't breathe. I don't think he looked very good. But here's the thing: this guy has not learned anything. He said he learned a lot. He has learned nothing. He's not only is he a bad businessman, he's also a bad politician. Because what he should have said was, I learned my lesson. I know how bad this is. I said it to Bob Woodward already. Now I'm going to say it again. It's a very dangerous, dangerous disease. I got it. You could get it. People could die from it. And I want you all to wear a mask and socially distant. He did not say that.
Yeah.
So he keeps appealing to the same 39% that already is in the cult. Try to get some new cult members if you have a brain in your head.
Well,
he
here's
keeps
the thing that
senior citizens and women. Go ahead.
Right. Here's the thing that I really want to point out to people. You are not him. None of you out there are him. You're going to get sick, and you can't get all the stuff that he can get, all the steroids that are going into his body. And let's not forget what steroids do to your brain. Steroids make you act erratically as well. So when you have somebody who's saying, you know, don't worry about it, he doesn't have to worry about it because he's being pampered and dealt with 24/7. They are up his behind, making sure that his temperature does what it's supposed to do. No one's doing that for you. He's not giving these drugs to the people in the White House. I don't know that he's giving them to anybody. He's getting them. So don't make this false equivalency like you're going to be treated like he is treated, because you're not. You're going to go to the hospital and deal with what all the other 200,000 people had to deal with, and that is trying to get all the stuff that you need. Please don't, you know, you're not on equal footing here. So if you think you can take off your mask and you're going to be fine, you're not. There's nothing saying you're going to be fine. And he is not out of the woods, my dears. He's still ill. So let's remember that. He's not well. He didn't take the thing and poof, he's up and about.
And he's not
still
immune.
Sick.
He is not immune.
No, he's not immune. And neither is anybody else.
There's no evidence to suggest that.
2 words.
No evidence to suggest what? Yeah. Sonny,
there's no evidence.
What were you saying?
There's no evidence to suggest that he's immune to it. And the little thing that I want to mention, imagine all the White House housekeepers, imagine the butlers, imagine all the staff that work to keep the White House running, that he has now put in harm's way. Imagine just the everyday people that want to serve the country and serve the first family. He's putting them in harm's way. 2 White House housekeepers have tested positive. And I think it was Chelsea Clinton that tweeted out yesterday that she's so close to many of those people and she fears for their lives. I mean, what kind of man, not just president, what kind of man would act in this way to endanger the lives of people that are taking care of him and his family? It's despicable. Yeah. Despicable.
It is exactly what look, he knows better, but this is part of his behavior. He came to New Jersey. He came to New Jersey. He found out he'd been exposed. He needs to be in quarantine, not walking around the White House. And why isn't Mike Pence in quarantine? I mean, what is this? 14, you're supposed to be in quarantine. What the hell? And I guess Mike Pence is not going to be in quarantine because he's going to be talking to Kamala Harris tomorrow, at the debate. But still, he shouldn't be on that stage. Personally, that's my opinion.